So this is the Pajero when I first got it, and I took it outside and made the wheelie video with it, but unfortunately it got damaged. So I started to strip it down and do some repairs, and also I shall give the rest of it the once over. Now, as you can see, it hasn't got the standard shock absorbers set up on the rear, and they are mounted to the chassis by using the front shock absorber mounting brackets, and the bottom of the shocks are screwed directly into the axle housing with this metal spacer. Unfortunately, this makes an extreme weak point in the setup. The right hand shock has sheared out from the housing. So I've ordered a new one from TRC Models via eBay, and they were doing a special offer where you got a free diff gear assembly included. I've also ordered this parts tree, and I'm going to use these brackets to mount onto the axle as shown in the diagram here. Now this hopefully should make for a stronger setup than the one that it previously had. I've bought a pack of 5mm ball connectors for the bottom of the shocks to locate onto. I found that this is broken, and this is one of the points where the screw locates that holds the gearbox assembly together. So this is the gearbox assembly. The gears themselves are actually very well lubricated, and there's a rubber shielded bearing in there, and also in the axial assembly as well for the drive shafts. Now this is the diff assembly, and that is extremely well lubricated, and also all the teeth seem absolutely fine on there. So here it is, all laid out, ready to put into the new gearbox when it arrives. And the old gearbox and axial assembly will be going in there. Okay, so we're on to the electrics and chassis. Now the chassis itself, or tub, is in good condition, just needs a clean. And the same with the front suspension arms too. The uprights have had the ends cut off. The only reason I can see for this is that they will clear the inside of the wheels. And these are from a Honda City Turbo kit and have been painted red. Now this is some strips of lead that are bound together with some green electrical tape and velcroed near the front of the chassis, which would be quite handy because I'd like to use this for some light trailing as well as sort of pulling wheelies with it, so having that in the front will help keep the front end down. It's still got the lunchbox mounting posts on there, so they will be coming off. The servo is a Trackstar TS400 metal geared waterproof servo, and it's 9.5 kg, which is plenty for this car. And as you can see, it's been reverse mounted. This space is where the original 4AA battery holder used to sit. The ESC is a Tamiya TEU104BK, and it's also got this wired into it, which I'm assuming is a BEC. It's got 2 to 6S Li Poly written on it, and on the advert for the car the seller had written, all you need to do is add your own radio gear and a LiPo. So I'm assuming that this has been added so you can run a LiPo with the 104 ESC, which I did do on the wheelie video, and if you've seen it you'll know that it runs extremely well. I've installed this Hobby King receiver, which is compatible with my FlySky GT3C transmitter. Right, the motor. Now I just assumed this was a standard silver can. I mean, there was nothing in the advert about what it was. However, when I took it off and cleaned it, I discovered it was actually a Tamiya torque tune motor. And now I have cleaned it, it looks brand new. It's in really good condition. And also the brass pinion is in good condition too. Okay, shock absorbers. Now this was a bit of a weird one. I took the shock absorbers off so I could strip them down, clean them up and put fresh oil in. And the front shocks are different lengths. The springs have been cut, and also the shock bodies have been cut. Now they're very nice, neat cuts, can't fault that at all. It's a lovely job. But different lengths. So I've ordered a set of Trackstar big bore shocks for the front, and also a longer matching set for the rear. Now, one of the old shocks I will hot glue onto the rear of the body as a fancy scale accessory. The front shocks, however, were okay. They were the same length, and once I cleaned them up and put fresh oil in, they're good to go into my spares box. Right, the last thing I'm going to talk about in this part is the bash plate and bumper. This was homemade by the previous owner and is incredibly strong actually, and it's been mounted using the same points that the original plastic bumper used. It's got a nice rough finish and is in keeping with the patina of the tyres and the body as well. And you can see here how it's been cut at an angle to suit the chassis. And here you can see that it's angled away from the actual tub, so giving it some nice protection. Okay, so that's the end of part 1, and hopefully I'll be getting the replacement and hop-up parts sometime this week, so then I'll be able to reassemble the Pajero and get up and running again. Thanks for watching.